On Sunday, the Polk family came together to watch our New Orleans Saints. After the game, I used the opportunity to ask the family about comments made about Katrina, its victims, and the city of New Orleans.
Flats in Houston are doing much better is because this is Bush's country.
Right.
Texas is Bush's country. So they all put their money and revenue into Texas to pay for the evacuees from New Orleans. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's really what the deal is.
The thing that was embarrassing was they showed a picture, a video of, I think, President Lyndon B. Johnson after Camille, I think it was.
He came down there.
The man was on the ground, and they had no lights. He
In
had a
the night
flashlight.
In the night with boots on.
Saying, you know, this is your president, just letting you know that we care. You know, couldn't do much of nothing.
Right.
Let them know that he cared with a flashlight. I say, man, that's the president, man. I mean, it's not, you know, what you do is
just how you do it.
The way I get from it, that she's stating that you're in one of the arenas, the Reliant, wherever, and you're living better than you lived in New Orleans, which is not true for all folks. I mean, some people, you know, average people, there's a lot of hard-working black people and white people from New Orleans that you know, went through Katrina, and that. And that's more of a put down that she's saying that you know that we better off here than we was in New Orleans.
Sleeping on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Sleeping on the floor of an arena is better than what we lived in our homes. It just don't. It was an insult when I saw it, and it's kind of sad. That's the person that raised the president. It's a real scary thing for us. It's true.
Yeah, a lot of people had something that worked for what they had all their lives and lost it. You know, and for her to say something like that is just not so. You know, but they've always had. So, you know, they don't know what it feels like to have nothing.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that we in Houston because we love Houston. We were forced. It's where we landed after the hurricane, and there's no home to go back to. So we're in a situation where we're forced to be here. And you have to make the best of it. You'll be a miserable person if you just continue to try to get to something that you don't have no more. You have to start new where you're at. And we have to be in Houston. That's where we start a new life at.
Houston, I mean, is she right about any people that were maybe underprivileged?
Well, a lot of people took the quote. Well, I guess at the time she should have made the quote. Should have just waited for a while just to see what was going to happen, and you know, people start living their lives and getting jobs, and then I can see what she's talking about. But just with the quote being made, where it was
at
made,
that time, where
at
it was
that
made,
time, while it was going on, I mean, it just was unacceptable. But yeah, I mean, my wife graduated from nursing school. All of us have jobs, prospering more now than ever. Yeah. And it's more a testament to the society and the economy, not just of Houston, but any New Orleans city. I mean, any American city. New Orleans was worse than any other city. I mean, as far as we're one of the worst cities as far as infrastructure and economy is concerned. So it's not that Houston is such a good city. It's just a normal city. We were living below average. Mm-hmm. Well, definitely. And what I'm finding out now, living in a different city, is that not only do the people have a responsibility, but the leaders have a responsibility. And that was one of our biggest problems in New Orleans, is that we didn't have strong leaders. We had people for years and years of corruption in the government. I mean, look at our former governors in jail now. I mean, we got so much corruption, even with the Jefferson guy. You know, we had so much corruption that, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, like the Bible says. I mean, without vision, the people perish. And we had no vision for years, and still don't have any vision. I mean, to be honest. And so, I mean, even though each community has to play their part in as far as solving the problems, our leadership was just terrible, way below subpar.
In a way, it is a lot of our fault, because we were the one who when we were growing up, all the playgrounds, they kept kids out of trouble with different sports programs, and we sat back and let the government take that away from us. If we would have fought hard and we need our playground, we need our parks, it could have been a different situation. And that's what I think he's talking about, the village. A long time ago, we didn't stand up for the rights. We needed to stand up to keep the city like it was. You know, and that's the whole thing with because, you know, kids didn't get in as much trouble because they were always football. Right after football was basketball. And each playground had, pride. The Nord program was driving. And once that left, you know, that was the beginning of the end. Once the Nord program left, those kids, they had nothing to do.